Story time. I've good news and some not so good news. Firstly, in December, my solicitor informed me that 5 of the allegations have now been dismissed. Slander was actually dropped before the first hearing by the prosecution. So now there are only 2 allegations left in the court, one of which was defamation and the other is damages. So I just need to discover more about what that is and get clarification from the criminal lawyer in the next few weeks. The not so good news is that Court for the Precarious Eviction set the date in March for my eviction, and the solicitor who was acting publicly appointed solicitor who was acting on my behalf informed me the police will arrive at 12:30 p.m. to assist me, and that was the sum total of the advice that I was given by the solicitor, and I find that a bit shocking. As a foreign English woman in Spain, I have been discriminated against through the legal system, not to mention the emotional and psychological abuse that I've suffered in the relationship, and post-separation I've been ignored by the court system and social services. None of my evidence was produced in the civil court. None of my disclosures to the original publicly appointed solicitor were acted on. In fact, I was denied the opportunity to speak at the verbal hearing on the 10th of June 2022. The plaintiff, the former partner, was requested to attend the hearing from the UK, and his solicitor had requested previously that he could, or asked if he could attend by video link. He turned up to the court with his new wife and 2 legal representatives. My solicitor informed me I was not allowed to have any friends to accompany me. I was not even informed that I needed a translator. I went to the courthouse on the 5th of June to try and submit evidence myself, only to be told I was too late. When I explained the situation to the court official, I was advised to sack the lawyer as she was not helping me. I should make an official complaint, is what I was told. I didn't do that until 2023. I was also informed that I should have a translator. My understanding of a verbal hearing was that I would get an opportunity to speak. So I went through with the court hearing, and I had a translator who had helped me in the gender violence court hearing, and he agreed to help again. The verbal hearing lasted 5 minutes. His solicitor said something, my solicitor said something, and then the judge banged down the hammer, and that was it. 5 minutes. I stood up to protest at what happened and even handed a letter to the judge that I had prepared in order to speak. My solicitor grabbed the letter and handed it back to me. The judge then threatened that he would call the police if I did not leave the courtroom. In 2023, I discovered why there was no questions, why I wasn't given any opportunity to speak. My solicitor informed the court in May 2022, the month before, that she was not going to interrogate the plaintiff. The reason, neither of us understood Spanish. The second reason was her client, me, had no income and had recognised free legal representation. so the costs of a translator would fall to the court. There are 2 grounds for discrimination under the new Spanish law: language and socio-economic status. I have not received much help. When I try to explain emotional abuse situation, the solicitors jump to a dispute over property and finances and ignore the emotional and psychological elements of the abuse. The truth is, there was conditioning or grooming and also physical and sexual abuse. I have disclosed this previously, but my solicitors did not advise me well. On top of this, social services were requested by the court to carry out a vulnerability assessment. In October, I discovered that social services wrote to the court to inform them that I did not attend the assessment. They stated that they'd sent an appointment in August of 2023. I did not receive any letter. Besides, that was after the electricity and the water supplies had been disconnected by the utility supply companies. I feel that I am being treated inhumanely. I did, however, manage to get a contract of electricity after 4 weeks of having no supply, and as of January 2024, there has not been any decision to reconnect the water supply at the property. A case of coercion on my part was heard on September the 8th, 2023 in the Criminal Gender Violence Court in Cartagena, Murcia. So this is the story so far, and I understand that I'm not alone in this situation, because there's women who worldwide suffer through exactly the same thing I'm going through here. Women who lose everything when cases of vengeful litigation by ex-partners go through the legal system in the UK, in Spain, in the US, in Canada, in Australia. It's something that happens worldwide. I have looked at the stories from other women and how family court, criminal court, civil courts don't understand, even though there are elaborate laws in place in the UK, in Spain, Australia, and other places are now implementing the laws on domestic abuse to include emotional and psychological abuse. But it's no good having elaborate laws that say that emotional and psychological abuse is domestic abuse when it's in relationships, if the professionals don't understand what exactly it is and can't help the victims who come forward to report, who come forward in a trauma, in grief, in fear and uncertainty, when they don't get support from the professionals who are out there and are meant to help, but don't. And that's all I need to say today. Thank you for listening.